Good morning. Let me fix myself here. Okay. Good morning. Uh, yes, we are going to be talking about a different subject this morning. I hope you had a good evening. Before we do, there's going to be some clarification made here on a few subjects. One, um, there was no attack on Agatha May, Robbie Harvey, or anyone else. If you had listened to my second uh, video that I did yesterday, you would see that that was the case. Never once did I attack anybody's work. I said probably a handful of times that I appreciated their work, even piggybacked off of it a few times. There was no misunderstanding of what Agatha had said in regards to Tom Winslow because the point of both videos was that I did not believe Tom Winslow's property had played any part in what happened to Micah. Now, that doesn't mean I'm correct, just means I don't believe that. So that was what my take was on it. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. But please don't come into my chat and make it into a drama or a fight. I happen to respect Agatha very much so, love her work. And I even respect Robbie Harvey. I'm grateful that these two content creators have kept Micah's story alive, which is what I prayed for. Because after the probate court in July, a lot of people went in different directions. They were convinced that the family sold Micah out and it was all over, not knowing what probate court was, even though it was explained to them a dozen times. They still kept thinking the Micah case was over. And probate court had nothing to do with a federal investigation. And of course, they were corrected November 1st when John Paul's house was raided. So instead of jumping to conclusions like most people do without thinking, get the facts first. Okay? That's my advice to anyone that's out there that feels you have to go out of your way to protect a content creator. Even me. I won't need your protection. I can speak for myself. Now, Agatha herself did say something, and I responded with, I had corrected myself in the second video. She was fine with that. She's able to speak for herself. She's a grown woman. She's good at it. Listen to her shows. So, yeah, just, calm down, everyone. Really. This is the drama that you could take to TikTok. And you know where TikTok's going. I hear a big fat flush coming. Anyhow, this is also the next disclaimer is that this is not looking to bash Elon Musk and President Trump. So if you're here to hear that, you may want to go somewhere else. However, this is a Dear Elon and President Trump short rant. Okay. So there's a show on YouTube from a Steve Ram, RAM. And what he does is he gives updates on what DOGE is doing. Okay. Which is great, And so it seems that Elon Musk had shown up at I guess it was some sort of rally or something in Wisconsin for an election, I think it is. And he was asked directly by one of the audience members, hey, when are we getting one of these checks? And he gave a roundabout way, really not even answering her question. Well, let me give some advice, if I could, respectfully, to two billionaires. I know you're not getting paid, but we are aware of the fact that you're getting some sort of kickback. For example, the president, who's doing an excellent job, by the way, does use some of our tax money to go out and play golf. Okay? Great. Enjoy. You're a wonderful president. I think you deserve it. Same with Elon, with what you're going through with your dealerships, I think is awful. We pray for both of you every night. So just let me lay that out quickly. But I want you to take into consideration that the money that you're dealing with is taxpayer money. Now, this didn't just come from the people that are working at the moment. This came from the people who have been working and have retired, or the disabled people who did work at one point and now are disabled and unable to work. These are the real people now. These are not the ones that you removed from Social Security because they're not 150 years old. These are the actual recipients that are supposed to get what they're getting, okay? Now, we've been told that taxes were going to be removed for people who made less than $150,000. That's yet to happen. We were told the prices were going to go down on things. That's yet to happen. And then we were told, dangled in front of people who are highly in debt because they just came out of a very highly inflated economy, that we were going to have $5,000 per citizen. Okay, not taxpayer, per citizen. Now, if you're saving money, if this is to Elon and President Trump, okay, and Congress, who you happen to be sitting there collecting a check that's made up of taxpayer money. So I'm your boss, and all these taxpayers and American citizens, we're paying your check. Pardon me. And I'm not pre-coffee or post. I'm mid. Just so you want to know. I know he plays at his courses for free, yes. And you know what? I don't care if any kind of money goes towards him playing. I really don't. Again, this is one of the best presidents. This is the best president we've ever had. And I appreciate Elon Musk. But let's hear me out. You should have said nothing about the checks. Now that it's out there, you have to fulfill it. Now, I know that there's other things that you want to take care of. For example, there's supposed to be this national debt. I say look into the national debt because I don't believe we owe all these countries this money. It makes no sense to me. Number one, China's on the top of that list. China's been robbing us from day one, okay, of intellectual property, for example. And number two, excuse me, well, do we have to go into Wuhan lab? And number three, our military went all over the place, taking care of all these different countries. How much did we get paid for that? How much did the taxpayer get for that? Because we're paying for it. We pay for that military that went out into those countries to take care of those other places. Okay, those other people who are not paying into our system. But how much money were we given to NATO? And all these other countries were giving a lot less. You know, we're not stupid. We know what's going on here. So if anybody deserves the first amount that comes in from the fraud, the waste, and the money laundering, that's the American taxpayer. Please don't give me that the federal government needs to be taken care of first. I call BS on that. The federal government is who's screwed us for decades and lined their pockets with our money while poisoning us, our food, our water, our air, our education, our entertainment. Some of us have been chronically sick for years because of what the federal government has either done directly or allowed. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what's wrong with my voice today. So don't preach to the American taxpayer who makes less than $50,000 a year and the IRS is quick. Boom, boom, boom. Every time a paycheck goes out, there goes that tax money. We don't wait months and months like Congress takes to make a decision. I'll tell you what, if I was the boss of Congress directly, I would have fired them already. Because if it takes you 2 months to come up with some sort of a decision, you're lazy and you're stupid. You need to go. Make a decision and make it now. The American public is not just suffering economically. They're suffering health-wise. Okay, they're suffering in their culture. They're suffering in do you see what's going on in the stores? The looting? Do you see the crime? Do you see the drugs? Do you see what's going on here? Or are you just blind to it? See, if you want, here's my advice. if you take the other things that you're saving your 1 trillion or 2 trillion for, whether it be national debt or federal government, and put that on the back burner and take care of the American citizens first, you will see people who are on the fence about Elon Musk and President Trump, or anti-Elon Musk and President Trump, and all of a sudden, money talks and BS walks. They'll change their tune. You won't have your dealerships being torched. You won't see any of that happening. You'll see a whole 95% of this country, no matter their gender, no matter their height and their weight, no matter their background, no matter whether they're saved or unsaved, no matter what, you'll see them back you up. Why? Because you made a promise and you kept it. Why? Because you cared about our everyday life and you showed it. But when you go back to your mansions and you go back to your billionaire lives and you give this empty answer towards when do we get back our money that was stolen from us, that's an insult. Now, I'm not insulted by it because why? Because I follow the prophets and I listen to God. I know where you're coming from, but you can't say that about the entire United States citizens. Again, you've got people who've worked very hard, 60 years, 50 years, whatever, paid into a system they never were supposed to pay into in the first place. Wasn't the IRS supposed to be gone at the end of World War II? And it's still here. How many people lost their homes and went to jail over the IRS? Okay? They weren't supposed to be taxing us. Now, I get it that you guys are working on this every day. But guess what? We're living with the consequences of Biden's horrible administration and decades of being robbed and lied to every day. Some of us are in debt on top of being chronically ill, not able to go get a job and take care of those debts. Okay? We live paycheck by paycheck, most of us. So if we want to know where our money is, I think we have a right to ask. Don't tell us that the federal government needs to be taken care of first. They've been taken care of for years. It's the American people that need to be taken care of. And you show that kind of care. You come out of your billionaire bubble and you take care of the American people. And you take care of their needs and you relate to what their struggles are. You'll see 95% or possibly more back you up, support you, protect your Tesla dealerships, and stand by you no matter what. Let me take a sip of coffee, people. Hold on. It's the unrelatable president, the unrelatable administration, the unrelatable celebrities that we're sick of, the unrelatable people on the news that lie to us and blow smoke up our rear ends. That's what we're sick of. We're sick of seeing lines in our sky of poison. We're sick of having fluoride in our water that's making us sick or giving us brain fog. We're tired of our joints hurting at 40 years old. Do you understand? You can afford organic food. You can afford pure water. And so that's why you don't live the problems we live. We can't afford to go and get all of that organic food or organic drink. We can't go live in an oxygen bubble or even get oxygen treatments because we're all living paycheck to paycheck, getting phone calls from debt collectors because we could barely pay for eggs only a few months ago. Still too high. They're just eggs, same eggs. Never change. They're not golden. They don't dance. They don't cook themselves. Okay? And I'm being sarcastic because I want to back you up. And I do back you up, but you make it difficult. You make it difficult when somebody very respectfully asks you, when are you going to give those checks? And your answer is about economy and the federal government needing to be financed. Now, I understand Elon Musk is not the one who makes these decisions. Okay, it's the president and it's Congress. Well, If I know President Trump the way I think I do, this is a guy who would write out a check today. And if there's any way he can override this slow, stupid, snail-like Congress, then I implore him to do so. And Congress, this is for you. You should have been in the title. Get with it, or God will remove you and replace you with people who do their job. Get to your job, work the hours that you paid for, and do your job. Stop taking 2 months to make a decision. There's no need for that. You don't need committee meeting after committee meeting after committee meeting on our tax dollar while we sit here struggling to live. You got people living in cars that never lived in a car before, or living in vans, children that are living this way because their parents can't afford an apartment anymore. Did you ever think, you want to talk about the economy? If you gave us some money, we would be paying that into the economy, and paying it into the economy would take care of these prices, would help out these businesses that are struggling, the ones that are being looted. We've got a military that's worried about what's going on in this country, that country, and every other country, instead of being on our streets arresting these looters that are destroying these stores. And who do you think ends up paying for that? The law-abiding American taxpayer. You know, you need to be relatable, and that's what I expected you to be. So if you hear this, Mr. President Trump, Mr. Elon Musk, please take into consideration the people who support you, which is, I'm one of them, highly support you, pray for you and your family and your administration always, is advising you to please listen to the American people. Everybody else can be put on the back burner. Federal government needs, you take that out of the money that you're going to take out of all the fraud and the waste that you're doing from the Pentagon and SEC and all that other stuff. You take it from there. But what you have right now, you give to the American public. You don't dangle it in front of their face while they suffer and struggle. That's unfair, uncalled for, and that's not what we voted for. Okay? Love always, Anne. So there you go. There's my rant, my letter to dear Elon and President Trump. I'm tired. Cindy, I agree with you. I am tired of elderly people, and I'm one of them. There are certain medications I can't get. I can't get help. Let me tell you something. For the longest time, the state of Georgia was helping me with transportation. I don't drive anymore. I'm unable to drive to get to my doctor's appointments. They took it away from me because my husband makes an extra, I don't know what it was, like $1,200 a year. I was like, what? I don't work. And then on top of that, $184 a month taken out of my Medicare, taken out of my disability check, and we're supposed to pay bills with this. And then my husband pays, and I'm sure most people do, about $200 a week in taxes and benefits. The benefits are $74. The rest is tax. Tax for what? My in-laws live in the Netherlands, and they pay a lot of tax. A lot. Okay. Probably close to what my husband's paying now, but maybe a little bit over. Close to 40 in their income tax. But here's the kid. Now, I don't agree with things that are going on in the Netherlands. Let me just start off with that. And the government sucks. But the setup that they have there is you'll get an electric bill for $50. You'll get a phone bill for about $25 to $50. Their utility bills and their bills over there are much, much smaller. Plus, their food is pure. Their food is in organic form. Their government doesn't allow all the garbage that's in our food. So their people are healthier, stronger. They work longer. They work better. They're happier. And here we are, this big country, filled with such creative people, wonderful people who want to work. I'd love to be able to work again. And the condition that I'm in makes it impossible. Okay? So I have to sit here and take disability. And when you put that against what I made working, it's not even close to it. It's probably a week and a half worth of income that I was making while working. A week and 2 days. That's what I get per month. That's what I'm expected to live on as a disabled American citizen who worked and paid into the system 14, 15, 16 years before being disabled. And let me put this to you. How many women out there, now I'm not talking about the baby mamas who go out and have 7 babies. I'm talking about somebody like me who was married to a man, had 3 children, got a divorce, and he takes off into the sunset, leaving me with no child support. Where is the Department of Revenue? What are they doing? You want to check out a department, Elon? Go check out Department of Revenue. Why are they not collecting child support that's court ordered? This was court ordered by the court through my divorce. 70 grand this man owes me in child support. And I don't get it. Help me to understand this. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Because I don't get it. Please relate to the American public is what I have to say about this. Look at how they're struggling. This is why you were voted in. This is why there are people out there who support President Trump, support Elon Musk. When you see that group of people in front of the Tesla dealerships defending the Tesla dealerships, defending Elon Musk, it's because there's an expectation of the promises made will be kept. You should have never said anything about the $5,000 checks. You should have just been quiet about it if you could not deliver on it. But you need to deliver on it now because it's been said over and over and over again. And not just by Steve Ram, but much of the mainstream media has reported on it. They're holding you accountable. And they're hoping you fail. So you have to prove them wrong. And I promise you this, Elon, you'll not have to step down at the end of May if you get checks out to everybody beforehand. You will not have to step down. People will applaud your work. See, hearing about all that you're getting from the fraud and the waste, that's nice to hear about. But when we look into our bank accounts and we see negative or we see nothing, it doesn't mean much to us. It means more when it hits our bank account. It means more when you pay us back what we've been robbed. That's where it means more. So there's my rant, guys. It's only going to be 23 minutes long. And once again, let me reiterate for all the people that may not have heard it in the beginning. I did not disparage in any way Agatha May. I happen to love Agatha May. I did clarify that yesterday a few times. I did make it clear that I did not say that she mentioned at all about Tom Winslow's waterway, the waterway. However, why mention Tom Winslow at all and his property if you're not insinuating that his property has something to do with Micah's death? Why bother mentioning the people next door if we're not mentioning Micah's passing? All I did was explain how it doesn't seem possible. It's too close to where this happened to Micah, and was able to do a timeline to show that it makes more sense that it came from the church by the gas station. And so that's just, my opinion, my findings, if that's what you want to call it. Okay, if you don't agree with it, don't agree with it. That's great. That's your opinion. You do what you want with it. And I'm not talking to Agatha. I'm talking about the Agatha defenders. The Robbie Harvey defenders do that too. You say one thing that doesn't agree, and then you've got 10 people in your chat, like they feel like they have to defend him. I hope he's got you on the payroll for doing that, because that's pathetic. And please, nobody, don't go do that for me. If somebody disagrees with me, they disagree with me. That's fine. But we don't have to have creators attacking each other because the audience is looking to start a drama. Go to TikTok for that. That's what TikTok's for. Anyway, I think we had a very productive day yesterday, if you want to know the truth. And especially the second video, I thought was very productive. And so there's that. So there's my rant. There's my 2 cents. I did not plan on coming on today. But when I saw that this morning, I thought, you know what? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's not as if it's bad for the American public to, expect to be paid back their own money. To be, preached about the economy and how it's better to put the money back in the economy and it's better to put it back into the federal government. No. You know why? Since Congress takes 2 months to make a decision, lower the amount of money that they make per year. Let them know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. Maybe they'll move a little quicker. Okay? Maybe everybody doesn't need to make $200,000 a year. I mean, that's where I see that at. Maybe let them have a cut. The federal waste has already been proven. You've already shown us that there are people, at 150 years old, 200 years old, 250 years old, that were getting checks. Where did those checks go? Who got those checks? We've already proven that we've got these judges sitting on the bench making I don't know what, who are getting kickbacks by USAID. Where's that money? Why aren't they in jail? Selling out the American public. Just saying. So I'm sorry, but I don't think the American taxpayer, or the American citizen rather, should be put on the back burner to wait for all these other things to be cared for. It's our money. We were the ones robbed. We're the ones that get paid first. Everything else can wait. Everything else can wait. And I have to question the national debt. I put that in question because I don't see how we owe all these people money when we were taking care of all these people, fighting for all these people, protecting all these people, defending all these people, and on top of it, giving all that money to UN, NATO, and WHO, and WEF. Come on. We weren't born under rocks, okay? Not every one of us has got the IQ of a turnip. A lot of us can figure it out. And if I'm biatching and moaning right now, it's because I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. So please don't insult my intelligence or everybody else's intelligence. You made the announcement of $5,000 per, pay it out. Or take the consequence. And I don't know what the consequence is going to be. I feel sorry for you if that doesn't happen. But I suggest if it does happen soon, you won't have to step down in May. You wouldn't have to do it. Your dealerships will be fine. Your reputation will be fine. You'll have a lot of people supporting you and defending you and backing you up. That I promise you that. I said I was going to stop groaning and moaning about this, but now I'm really done this time. I'm going to go finish my coffee. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me this morning. And I could see there's not as many people here as when I do the Micah Miller thing, but that's okay. Forgive my voice. I don't know what's wrong with it this morning. I think I just need rest. But anyway, I do plan on coming back to do not today, but I do plan on coming back to do the Kingdom of God. And that should be soon. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. But anyway, until I see you guys again, please stay safe and God bless.